Guys, and welcome back to Reeltalk Reviews, 2 quarters full. It's been an interesting week here at Reeltalk because we got the opportunity to go see a preview for a play by Moon10 Productions at Flight Path Theatre. It's obviously it's been one of those things we keep telling people we'd like to do and that we want to support, and people who are just inherently creative and passionate about their work. And this was one of those things we got the opportunity to go and see 2 quarters full. I don't want to give away too much as far as plot goes, but it follows sort of 4 mid to late 20s characters as they deal with like relationships with each other, like love and loss, and how people deal with grief, and how people deal with different situations, and how it affects those around them and themselves. It's a really sort of heavy and intense subject matter that they balance perfectly with sort of dark humor. You go to a play to be entertained, first and foremost. And I feel like some of the ones that follow sort of this dark subject matter, it's a struggle to find a balance between being entertaining and making the point. And this really does that so well, really well written. Like, it's rare that you see one of these things and you walk out like truly outstanded by how well it was put together and how much thought clearly went into every line and every scene. Like, nothing feels wasted and everything feels like it has a purpose. Sometimes you find in sort of low crew things that you struggle to find a good balance between entertaining the audience and getting the point of the story across. And I find that this does it perfectly well. Like, it's well rounded. It's designed to tell the story and show that these characters are struggling and that they're coming to terms with like some dark subject matter, but they also throw some light comedy in there so you don't feel like depressed as soon as you walk out of the theater. 2 quarters full. It was a very small cast. It was only 4 people, and you only follow 4 characters, and the rest of the interactions with the world come through recorded phone calls and voice messages and stuff like that. Having such a tight cast helps this story so much because you feel connected to all 4. I feel like if there had been more people around, it would have been a struggle for you to really connect with these characters on a personal level, and that is what you do. You feel like you know these characters by the end of the play. All 4 of these actors, their performances were just fantastic. Like, I cannot praise them enough for the way they portrayed their characters now. But they did such a good job. There was a little bit moment at the beginning where you could sort of, the first scene really where the characters were introduced, you could sort of tell that these actors were a little bit nervous. But it was they really quickly recovered, and they just blew it out of the park. They didn't miss a beat. I felt connected to the characters, and all their relationships were believable and emotional, and it was just really nice to see people who are passionate about their craft, because you could tell that they love what they're doing, they believe the story that they're telling, and that they connect with their characters, which is something that I feel that in sort of big budget films and stuff you do lose sometimes. You can tell that they're just doing a job, and you don't get that here. In fact, the performances in this play were so truly outstanding that none of them were outstanding. I know that doesn't really make any sense. Let me explain myself. What it is because it's a 4-person cast, and every single person did such a good job that none of the characters outshadowed another, which is phenomenal. And what that does is it allows the story itself to be the star. Changes the way you see it. If we left the theater thinking about the story as a whole and how we would handle situations like that, and how different people handle different events in their lives in different ways, and not thinking, I really like that character, I really like that character, because you like all of the characters equally, but you like the story as a whole more. We really enjoyed two quarters full, and we really recommend that you go and see it for yourself. If you want to get tickets, the link is in the description below. We'll post it on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. It'll all be there. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at Review by Lurch. If you want to follow us on Instagram, we're Reeltalk _ pop culture discussions. If you want to follow us on Facebook, it's also Reeltalk Pop Culture Discussions. That is REEL, not REAL. I know people are struggling with that at the moment. If you want to follow Reeltalk on Twitter, it's Real _ pop. And as always, guys, keep it real.